showing my, excuse me, I got my mic, showing my impressions on the Tiger H1 and War Thunder. So, I've just recently got this tank about a few days ago. It is my first Tiger. I don't even know this, but most of my videos, a lot of them are majority are planes because I've been more of a pilot type of person, and I've just, you know, recently been getting more into tanks. And, well, I wouldn't say recently, but I just been learning more about it. Now I'm getting more into the German tanks. And, you know, last I saw my 3.7 lineup, and now I'm doing the trying to work on my German 5.7 lineup, starting with the Tiger H1 and the Focke-Wulf 190 D13. Since it's a premium I have and it can carry a 500 kilogram bomb, but enough of that. So, my impressions of the Tiger. Well, a lot of the things I noticed is that while I'm driving it, I will get occasional cut-off guards, say I'm moving into a city like I am now, and sometimes I won't have the time to angle. Say, for example, there's been times where a Hellcat will come flying around the corner and I won't have the time to angle it and shoot my upper front plate. You've seen in front of it, it's square, but the advantage to this tank is, well, the fact that it's kind of a boxy shape, and if you know what you're doing, the armor can be much more effective. So, one of the things you can do is you can angle your tank. When you angle your tank, it increases the effective thickness. So, the frontal plate, the big flat piece in the front, is about 100 millimeters thick, and the sides are about 80 millimeters. If you angle it at about a little less than 90 degrees, you can get both plates to have an effective thickness of about 120 to 130 millimeters, which is great. It is can be good at tanking, but you need to be, your main threat is the British APDS, since it's the same at your tier and it practically ignores your armor. So I don't know why, but it does. So one of the things I'm doing now is I'm trying to defend the cap, and this is what the new map, I just name of this just slipped my mind, so I'm trying to play defense by, you know, being careful, being cautious, being ready to angle my armor. I see that the Ho-Ri is going through that little gap, so I'm going to turn and face this way to see what's if anything's coming down that aisle. So I'm aiming my crosshairs, see if I see anything. I haven't noticed anything yet. The RU-251 is just chilling behind me. So one of the problems with the 5.7 lineup is you're gonna face a good bit of up tier. So an RU-251 is a 6.7, it's a premium, and so a lot of the times I'm up tiered all the way to 6.7 because of RU-251. I guess you could say spam. I mean, it's just a real pain in the butt sometimes. So I'm leaving the cap here, getting ready to see what else is on the entrance, and I noticed that I am not shooting a bus. Okay, this is actually my first non-live commentary, so it should clean up. Let me know in the comments if you like me not doing live commentary, because I think it cleans up my commentary a little bit since I'm focusing more on what I'm saying than the game. So, and basically you just get to hear me ramble for 15 minutes or so, which is great, right? So I'm setting up here. I think I see something that way, so what I'm doing is I'm preemptively angling the armor, like so that I have a higher chance of ricocheting the shell if he ever comes around. So now I'm also sitting in the cap. You can see I'm capping it back because one of the friendlies shot the, I don't know what he shot. And now I'm just trying to play defense. So now I'm going to check to see the other aisles because he's going to the right. Now I'm going to go to the left like the Ho-Ri earlier and see if there's anything coming down the aisle. So basically, if you haven't noticed, one of the themes of this video, along with playing the Tiger and learning about the Tiger, is, cap guarding.
Thanks. We've captured most of.
So what I'm going to do is stay out here and see what else is going to come my way, or maybe try and come down to the cap you know, over the hills, because that's where the other enemy team's start point is, that they like to come over those hills there. So I'm preemptively angling my armor, and I notice a C point is being capped again. So now I'm going to have to head back over to the C point, see what's being capped. Our friendly Ho-Ri shoots a enemy tank, and I start following him back to the C point to get back into the capture point.
The enemy is winning.
And
Counterattack.
so again, I'm just coming around, and I am going to the capture point to keep it capped. So a lot of the time, what I've been doing throughout this video is I've just been, you know, trying to defend, trying to hold choke points in the building, and I'm just going to end up going right back out here. And you're probably thinking, well, Dino, you haven't shot anything yet. Well, something's shooting me at the moment, and I turn around and I see it's an enemy AAA, American, I think, tanks. So now I got to be wary of him coming into the cap and shooting me, or you know, someone else coming in there, because now I'm marked for the enemy team after he shot me. And so I'm coming around because I'm predicting he's going to come around that left corner. So I'm pointing my gun in that direction. I have my armor a little bit angled already, so I'll wait to see if he's going to come around, and I don't see him. And I'm going to see if he's hiding behind that corner, and he's not. But I find out later, I think there's a Hellcat with him, so I got to be wary of that too, but I don't know that at the moment. So the main thing, I try and keep my armor angled in case something runs out. Because again, your armor can be quite effective when angled. So I realize that it's being capped again, so I'm getting ready to make a turn. I'm going to go wide a little bit and get behind this building in case he's sitting somewhere in the cap looking at my side, because you will just get nailed from the side. And I see a Hellcat around the corner, he misses, and I thought, shoot him, take him out. That's first frag.
We need to put more pressure
So,
on the enemy. They're winning.
yeah, that's one of the things I said will usually take me out, is when I'm not paying attention and I'm not, you know, angled properly, but he panicked and shot to my right, so I ended up taking him out
We
because
no longer
Hellcats
have the
have no armor.
advantage.
So now I'm coming back in, I'm sweeping around, seeing if I can find him or not. And now I notice I'm capping, so I know he must have left. You're probably wondering now if you've skipped part of this, if you're watching the same part of the video over and over again, because I keep just going to the same place. Now that AAA is shooting from behind. I don't know why, because he didn't. Now that they have the hull break mechanic, if I shoot him and I, you know, do enough damage to his frontal armor, I can break his hull. Like so. There goes the hull break. Yeah, looks like it. And it'll just knock him out of the game. So that makes taking out SPA and very lightly armored vehicles such as the Hellcat easier. So now I'm going to angle my armor, I think, and capture the point. But if you notice, if you've been watching most of the video the entire time, the enemy team has had control of the two other capture points. And I noticed that there's now hardly any people left on our team, and we're beginning to lose this match, unfortunately. So now I'm just, you know, watching, protecting the cap, watching to see if I see anything come in. I notice that something's back in the cap. As you can see, every time I get out, someone comes back in. So now I got to be careful, and I'm gonna again. It's like playing Ring Around the Rosie with these couple of buildings here, you know, house hunters, but in a tiger.
If we don't do something fast, the enemy will win.
So now I notice I captured the zone, so something must have realized I was in here and left. So now I'm trying to hunt that down. But more than likely, he's more mobile than I am, and has got to a different area already. So I'm kind of wary whether or not he's going to come up from the side. to shoot me. So I'm pointing my gun that direction. So I'm going to go the opposite way around and see what's on that side. And I do believe that I see a T-34-85 come around. He fires and bounces, and I shoot his the start of his upper glacis and go through. So that's the third frag. So now I thinking to myself, well, I've taken him out. Are there any guys behind him? I guess not. So maybe I should go to the other cap, since most of the time I've just been defending the C point. So now what I'm trying to do is figure out is start heading that way, but by the time I start heading that way, the game's going to be ending pretty soon here. Because you can see our tickets are getting way low from them having 2 out of the 3 points and me just only been able to stay around C trying to defend it. So now I'm going to start heading out of the building here and heading to C, but by the time I get to start getting out of the town here, the game ends.
The enemy is winning. We must
second.
counterattack.
Yeah, there it goes.
We suffered a defeat. Head back to base.
So I got 5 caps and 3 frags. So I got 2nd place on the team. But, you know, all in all, at the end of the day, I do enjoy this tank. It's a lot of fun, and I will go over it in the post-battle results, and I will see you guys there. Hey guys, I'm back here, and here's my Tiger H1 in a very Christmas-like background. So let's go over the first thing. So the here's so far the modifications. I have all the main modifications except for the tracks and brake system, and this, which I'm not worried about. So it is armed with an 88mm KWK-36 cannon with 92 ammo. So this is the first of the long 88s. So there's even a clan called 88. So I had 88mm, so 88mm guns. So it seems one of the things the Germans did is instead of changing the gun size, they changed the way the gun barrel worked here. And it does have great penetration. Also has great post damage. The main one, I like using the main one, has more penetration. I take that over this one that has less penetration but better post damage. This will still one-shot anything it comes across, so because it's still German guns, along with, you know, and the Russians, they have great guns. So one of the other things it has going for it is it's not quite as slow as other heavy tanks. It moves about as quickly as an IS-1. It has decent reverse speed. It also has neutral steering, meaning that these tracks will spin in opposite directions. So armor. You can see in front the armor is actually pretty easy to pin and usually can be one shot by T-34-85s and other tanks. But when angled like this, you can see you can get the angle on it pretty high. It's got, because you know this only has 82mm of thickness and this is 102, but when angled it can be quite potent, surprisingly, and that catches people off guard. And you know they often tend to bounce your ricochet off your tank, and you can even occasionally angle the turret about like this and cause them to bounce off your turret. X-ray, I take about I think 21 rounds. So it should only fill up some of the side ammo racks, but not very many. This is with full load of ammo. Unfortunately, it doesn't fill up the bottom ones first. Those are the hardest hit, but it usually fills up the sides, which are the easiest to hit. So you do have a 5-man crew. You have the machine gunner, the driver, the gunner, commander, and the loader. As compared to Russian tanks, which usually just have the driver, a commander, a gunner, and a loader, and lack a machine gunner or a radio operator gunner. And so it has an engine that produces power of 650 horsepower at 3,000 RPMs, which is decent. The fuel tanks in the back, they don't explode, but your cupola can be hit quite hard. There's been times where I've been shot by T-25s and it's gone straight through the cupola, and all the shrapnel shot down to the tank and has taken me out. So that's my, let's see, do I have anything else? So rarely do you get up to 28 miles per hour, but it still goes pretty, I mean, it's pretty, you know, it's decent mobility, probably tied with the IS-1 for mobility. But it's better because of neutral steering, like I said. So again, this is, you need to make sure to angle your armor. It is great as a sniper because you can sit in the back with your armored angle and go hold down and, you know, cover this part here because that's probably one of your weakest parts, and most of the time they'll just ricochet off your front armor. But your biggest threat is the British with their APDS that even when fully angled will just punch through your armor for some strange reason. So, but, you know, game. So, so I hope you guys have enjoyed my review. This is probably one of my first actual, you know, more slightly in-depth tank reviews. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and next tank review will probably be my newly acquired Panther D that I've got yesterday. So, I hope you guys have or it might be on a plane. Who knows? But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more, and hit that like button. Now, catch y'all in the next video. Bye.